What is good, everyone? Welcome to today's aftermarket trade recap. Just getting into it real quick. I know it's been a while since I've made a trade recap video. That's because of the holidays, didn't really trade, went on break, everything like that. And then, yeah, this past week on Monday and today, I have been going live. Don't know how long I'm going to be able to keep that up for, as I do start school next Monday again. But yeah, besides that, just going to kind of go over the daily outlook on the day and then also the setup that I did take on live. Unfortunately, I did take a loss today, just one trade on the day. But yeah, besides that, let's get into it. So pretty much on the day, one thing I do want to say quickly is that we did have FOMC meeting minutes. Now, usually FOMC meeting minutes or not usually, it's always never like as impactful as just regular FOMC, like the interest rate reports, everything like that. So I did notice it yesterday, but it's one thing I kind of did forget about coming into today, especially since I wasn't on during the AM session. And as you can kind of see, volatility in the morning was or price action in the morning was just pretty choppy. I don't know necessarily if that was because FOMC meeting minutes. Usually I've traded on FOMC meeting minutes in the past and never really had like issues that I can remember compared to like regular FOMC. So I know it's usually not as bad, but it is something that if I would have waited till the news came out today, I would have hypothetically been been right at least on my position, as my draw on liquidity did hit after the news had came out. But as for the daily outlook on the day, I was pretty much bearish. Originally, I was like, I figured if we would come up and tap into this 4 hour before continuing lower. But then that was like during Asian session or like London session, I was hoping to see we would do that. But still, my draw was lower on the day. And then I figured we definitely wouldn't have been going to this 4 hour or anything like that if we didn't do that during the morning session. So yeah, now during the PM session is when we did take out my original draw on liquidity, which was unfortunate because that was an area that I was looking to hope see before or after lunch session. Now, although it did suck that that did get taken out before, it did lead into my next kind of change in bias. After we had taken this out and rejected this, I was now bullish because I wanted to see the lunch high get taken out here, which I'll put on real quick. Oh, I gotta go like 5 minutes. Which actually was a relative equal high right here. More so like on the like a 1 minute time frame or something like that. Yeah. I don't know why because I turned on macro. That's why. Oops, there we go. So yeah, relative equal high here, even though technically it says the lunch high is right here, it's here because that's a high. Upwards candle and a down close candle. But then we had this significant high up here, which was also inside like a 15-minute PD array. And so yeah, that's what I wanted to see. To see us go to these highs, one, we had to reject discount of the range as well as inverse both of these 15 minutes. So that's what I wanted to see. I was hoping to see us not take out these relative equal highs before we inverse, but unfortunately we did. Now, I was saying on live it wasn't the like biggest issue because again, I still want to see this as the final draw. Now, we did finally get that inverse, so everything was looking good towards bias wise and everything like that. Now I just need an inverse fair value gap along with other confluences to take the setup, which is exactly what I got. We were holding inside a 3 minute and also inside a tiny 5 minute. And of course I just accidentally moved this over here, but I can redraw that again. And then we had an SMT that we kept forming that was getting larger. And then we had I saw 1 minute, but then it ended up actually becoming a 2 minute, and then yeah, we got the inverse. So we had like 3 confluences along with a nice internal high and the external buy side liquidity that I wanted to see get taken out. And unfortunately, everything was aligning. Everything I executed properly. I even de-risked on this setup just because of the fact that the stop is a little higher, 26 points. That's usually I'll be like 10 points less than that. So I did end up doing only 5 micros. Probably could have done 4. Once I realized it, the fifth one kind of was just like little too much risk, but it's nothing like crazy. 5 is still even okay, but yeah, ended up being in a little bit of profit before then going into drawdown, and was stuck in drawdown for a few minutes before getting stopped out. And yeah, so again, that's kind of like the outlook and then the confluences for the trade. Now, when I was talking about earlier about just waiting till FOMC meeting minutes, well, I said hypothetically, because again, the external draw, I still knew where I wanted to go, but again, it's hypothetical in the sense if I would have taken the setup or not. But we actually did have a 2 minute inversion right here. And as you can see, if I mark this out, now I don't know if we had an SMT or anything. Again, this is just hypothetical on the inversion wise. But definitely would have got, a few more points, but also was risking about 10 more points in for my stop loss. So for this setup, I definitely would have had to de-risk from 5 micros to around probably like 3, maybe even 2 on this setup, just of how large the risk was on this. But yeah, again, for today, like I said, everything that I kind of wanted to see, I was very confident on the day. I was seeing everything I wanted to see. Just the setup was wrong timing. We just wanted to retrace a little lower before continuing upwards and taking out that draw. So the bias was right. Just sometimes it's not going to work out even when everything's lining. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Real quickly, I did want to say I know tomorrow we have an early close because of the morning for Jimmy Carter, and then Friday we do have NFP. So depending on when that news data comes out, if we're not super choppy in the AM session or just the opening bell, then should hopefully be trading that day. But if price action tends to be choppy and not looking good, then probably just gonna skip till next week. So yeah, that's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. And then again, if I am trading on Friday, there will be a live, so make sure you tune in for that. See you guys hopefully Friday. Peace out.